The Bosnian War and Ethnic Cleansing, Lessons from Srebrenica. In the early 1990s, as Yugoslavia crumbled, Bosnia erupted into a devastating war. Amid competing nationalisms, ethnic divisions turned lethal. Neighbors became enemies, and the world witnessed a tragic wave of violence targeting innocent civilians. This was no ordinary war, it was an atrocity marked by ethnic cleansing. The Bosnian War, 1992 to 1995, claimed the lives of approximately 100,000 people. Homes were burned, women brutalized, and families torn apart. The world looked on in disbelief as the promise of "never again," made after World War II, failed to deter yet another genocide. In July 1995, the horrors of ethnic cleansing reached their peak in the small town of Srebrenica. Over 8,000 Bosniak men and boys were executed by Bosnian Serb forces in what was supposed to be a UN-protected safe zone. The massacre remains the worst act of genocide in Europe since the Holocaust. Survivors recall harrowing escapes into the woods, desperate mothers searching for their sons, and the deafening silence of international allies. How could this happen under the watchful eye of the UN? The betrayal of Srebrenica raises haunting questions about the limits and failures of global peacekeeping. For months, the international community hesitated, bogged down by bureaucracy, divided alliances, and a painfully slow response to the escalating crisis. The 1995 NATO airstrikes helped end the war, but not before thousands had already perished. The lack of timely intervention still casts doubt on global promises to protect human rights. The Srebrenica genocide became a watershed moment, leading to war crimes trials in The Hague and increased scrutiny on genocide prevention. But it also exposed the fragility of international mechanisms meant to uphold justice and protect the powerless from harm. The Bosnian War is not just history, it's a warning echoed across generations. It reminds us that ethnic hatred and indifference to suffering have lethal consequences. The lessons of Srebrenica demand vigilance, compassion, and accountability to ensure that such tragedies are never repeated. How should we act to honor the lives lost and shoulder our responsibility as global citizens? Reflect on these stories, share them, and demand action whenever injustice arises. Subscribe, comment, and join the conversation as we continue exploring humanity's past to build a better future together.